You know, it's such a big, broad area, an area that I'm fascinated in, the community and voluntary sector. The tragedy is I have 4 minutes to speak on topics that it would take me an hour. The reason I say that is because I'm as much a community activist as I am a politician, and I suppose it would take me 4 minutes to read out the amount of groups that I'm involved with in a voluntary capacity as a voluntary director. But at least to say, if anybody wants to have a look at it, they can go onto my website, which is www.ericbyrne.ie, and you'll spend 4 good minutes in reading my involvement between childcare, the drug task forces, community involvement in a vast range of areas. Suffice to say, I want to, if I can, reiterate tonight my belief in the voluntary and community sector by explaining yet again that I believe this sector acts as the cement, it acts as the metrics, it acts as the concrete that bonds communities together, and by bonding communities together bonds society together. They play a vital role in providing social solidarity and support in the community. But I too have been lobbied by people and asked to get my head around how you can involve these groups in as negotiators of their own terms and conditions of employment and their own not just the terms and conditions of employment, but their own ability to spend money as they please. It's very, very difficult to get your head around this issue of trying to give or grant negotiating rights on behalf of the sector. But the reason I feel this is because there's such a vast range of funding streams. For example, the HSE do the funding stream, the local authorities have it, the Department of Social Welfare have a funding stream, on Garda Síochána, and part of the Department of Justice have funding streams, VECs have funding streams, the Department of the Environment have funding streams, Health and Children, etc., etc. So there are dozens of funding streams to the community and voluntary sector. And you then have these intermediary bodies called local area partnership boards, who are limited companies, and they have their own responsibilities to the funding stream, usually managed by Pobl. I would ask the Minister to convey to government, if he can, that they might strengthen the organisations, that they might create some sort of an umbrella organisation that can act, I think, to create better, more solid funding to these groups that would eradicate any duplication of funding and that could create greater efficiency within the community sector. Can I say in conclusion, it's always sad to see programmes and projects go belly up. I was a member of the local area partnership called the KWCDT. It was closed down, effectively put into liquidation by Pobl, and in fairness to Pobl, it was put into liquidation on governance issues. I've seen so many CDPs and other voluntary and funded projects go belly up around that very simple topic of governance, and there will be more will go belly up unless the government gets a handle about around educating the mainly volunteers who sit tirelessly but aren't equipped to understand the importance of governance. I would ask that they be better assisted to strengthen their role in spending the money more productively. To conclude, I cannot overstate the heroic and valuable work done by so many, resulting, as I said, in providing that essential bond and social stability so needed in times like times of political financial crisis. Just to conclude, Chairman, just to say that what really gets me in the graw is the motion coming as it does from Sinn Féin, which is continuing to attack this government. If I could just quote for you the Sinn Féin DUP programme, for government commits parties to, believe it or not, to continue our efforts to address the divisions within our society. Progress has been made, but at a time when our society is being transformed, sectarianism, racism and intolerance are still all too evident. Yet the Department of Education and Sinn Féin Minister Katrina Ruan
Sorry, Deputy, you're over time. You're taking time
in March 2000, introduced a 70% cut in funding for the Northern Ireland Community Relations Council. Now, I will accept criticism.
Thank you, Deputy.
Criticism is due,
Thank you.
Coming from people who already put
Deputy Joe McHugh.
That made the council reply that said that it resulted in the...
Sorry, Deputy, you're over time. Would you please resume it?
Would you resume your seat?
Have schools and communities...
Deputy McHugh, would you please?
...engage in community relations and cross-community work. So you're hypocrites.
Deputy McHugh.